In this episode, I test the bellows and pipe to make sure that they're working correctly. Then I prepare the bellows and pipe for repapering. I attach the hinge to the bellows and then cut out the Tyvek paper for the bellows. Alright, now we'll have a quick look at the movement, see what exciting things may be in store for us later on. But in the meantime, we've got here a stamp GM for GM Angem, 25, regular 25. We've got 72 written there, which is the date it was made in West Germany. And there's brand Regula down there. And look, one of my favourite things, look at the oil on that. Whoa, look at that. I'll take a photo of that. That's so good that requires its own individual photo. Look at the oil on that. The maintenance cam was stuck to the rack stop lever with all the oil on it. Alright, I'll grab a photo of that, then I'll come back and we'll start taking the movement to pieces. Before we can recover the bellows with Tyvek paper, we need to get rid of the old glue that's on every corner there and also around the top of the bellows there. So we'll do that first. We'll scrape it down with the knife. It should come off pretty easily. It is, yes. The back there, down the side. That's pretty old glue, so it came off pretty well. Right, now the pipe, get rid of the old encrusted glue on it. Round each side and the end. Little bit of the original leather on there. Alright, that's alright. We'll check the pipe to make sure that the reed, that piece there, is in the right place by blowing on it. Yep, that sounds pretty good. Alright, now I'll get out some Tyvek paper and first up we'll put a hinge on the back here and then we'll put the Tyvek paper around so when the bellows opens it forces air out through the reed. Here's our Tyvek paper. Some scraps from before, we'll cut a hinge out of that later on. But before we start cutting the Tyvek paper up, we need to find out how much we're going to need. So I'll put the bellows top on top of the pipe there. We'll measure it 30 millimeters and a height of 7. So I'll drop that down. 30 by 7 millimeters, and that's a hinge. Right, now we'll see what length we're going to need for the Tyvek paper. 45, 2 of those will be 90. Plus 35, 130 mil. So length will be 130 and we'll measure the width of the bellows once they're open. allowing a little bit to stick on the top and on the bottom. So we'll go for 35 mil again, 35 millimeters. So we want 130 by 35 millimeters. And that's the sides and front. So there's our notes, we've got that sorted. Put that over there. First up, we'll mark out the hinge. We want 30 by 7. So we'll come up here. 30 mil is there, which we'll just draw a straight line up there at the moment, relatively parallel to that in there. And then we want 7 mil high. All right, 5, 6, 7 mil. 7 mil there. And 7 mil there. So we'll draw a line on that. Get those two marks aligned. Over a little bit. All right, there we go. That's our hinge. Now, a pair of scissors, sharp scissors, and we'll cut the hinge off. Actually, before we do, we'll check to make sure that our measurements are right. We'll line the bellows on top of the pipe and then put our hinge over the top. Yep, okay. That looks pretty good. I'll trim up here first. And then we'll cut across the Tyvek, and that's our hinge. Now what I'll do is I'll take that little bit of the top off there because I want a little bit more timber for the glue to adhere to. That's got that. All right. Close the knife up again. So we've got that aligned. I'm going to use liquid Tarzan's grip on this. It works very well. I'll push some more up to the top. Here we go. Get rid of that. And I'll put a line along the back there of the pipe and also on the bellows. Cover that across, see a little bit of a squeeze on the tube, and that should be right. Now, we don't want to join these together, so we'll take the excess off and then put them together, align them correctly, like so. We get them right. We then put the hinge on and tap it down. Oops, stuck to my finger. That is pulled off. Where's a pair of tweezers to push that down so it doesn't stick to it. All right. Make sure it's not stuck down. Nope, that's okay. Alright, we'll leave that for a moment. We'll let that settle. I'll let the glue sit. And then when we come back up this side, we'll run over the end there, we'll run over the end there, and that'll hold the hinge in place, simply because it got caught on the end of my glove and moved. Alright, we'll let that sit for a moment, and while that's sitting, we'll measure out the cap back on that, or it'll all go solid. We'll measure out the other piece that we need. See what we've got here in the way of, that's not going to be long enough. They'll all be used for patches and hinges at some time or other. Put that aside. Make sure we've got no glue on the area. Now we need 130 by 35. So where's our rule? $130. We'll measure that. I'll put another 5mm on that just to give us a little bit of leeway. And I'll draw a straight line there. And we want 35 up from there. 35. Down the other end. $30, $35. And then align the rule so we can see where we're going. All right, mark that. And that is what we want for the side of our bellows. So we'll cut that out. Initially I'll trim up this side here to make it a little bit more even. And then align it and come up that side. And now we cut down this edge down here along the line that we drew. Not that it's very easy because everything's moving around, but we're getting there. Down to the end. Okay. There's the rest of our bellows material. I'll put our Tyvek paper away. We don't need any more of that. And the offcuts that we'll use at some stage, no doubt. We put them all in there. Alright, we've put them away. Alright, how are we going there? That's getting better. Alright. What we've got to do now is initially find the center of our piece of Tyvek paper. That's that line there. Now we have to place that in the center going across there. So that means that we're going to glue that there. So I'll mark both sides so we know where the center is. Give that a tiny little bit more time to dry. Now we've got there and there. Where's our center mark? Yep, okay. Alright, we'll let that hinge dry for another couple of minutes before we start putting the other side on.